Hi everyone, welcome to Dinosaur Life, a place where we live life to the fullest. Today we are doing a self-discovery journal session. We're talking about Enneagrams. The Enneagram test is a personality test that divides people into 9 different types. Disclaimer, Enneagrams are just a tool. Like, you should never let a test define who you are. That being said, I freaking love Enneagrams. So your Enneagram personality, it shows what's the driving force behind your personality. And with this force comes some sort of emotional driver. So basically the Enneagram shows your emotional experience. It's super awesome, and I know mine is pretty spot on, which it has goods and bads, and a lot of my friends are also spot on, and I just think they're super fun to talk about and discuss, so that's what we're doing today. Now, if you've never heard of an Enneagram, you gotta pause this video and take the test. It doesn't take that long. Go to Google and type in free Enneagram personality test. Something will show up, take the test, and then return here. Now let's get started. The first thing we'll do is just breathe. So take some inhales and exhales. Every Enneagram test shows the results a little bit different, but in your results, you should have gotten like your main primary personality trait, your main number, and then some sub numbers or winged numbers. So these are like the numbers that are really close to your personality, but they're not your main ones. And then if you can, I want you to find the personality, the number that you least related to. And we're gonna write these down. Now I'm moving through this with you. I already have my template sort of drawn out, but I can put an image on the screen if you want to see where we're going. I want you to write the key motivation, or like the little summary of your Enneagram. As you can see, I am a 3. So the key motivation, I'm embarrassed to say, behind 3s are that they're driven by success and affirmations. Next, I want to write your healthy and your unhealthy traits. Some tests give this, if yours didn't, it doesn't matter. But if your type is super healthy, what kind of person are you? Write down those traits. And if your type is unhealthy, what kind of person are you? So for 3, a healthy 3 is like super extroverted, really hard worker, like achieving lots and giving lots to the world. But an unhealthy 3 is jealous and wants attention. that concludes the summary section of our journaling today. So you've just made a summary of your type and who the test claims that you are. There's going to be 4 sections today, so we're moving into the primary type section, and in this section I have 2 prompts for you. My first question is, what do you like about your primary type? Well, that was fun, talking about all the great things about ourselves. Now let's flip it over. Let's go to, what do you dislike about your primary type? And I feel like this is the question where we've got to be really honest with ourselves, because I think it's tempting to identify with the positives and then see the negatives and be like, oh, but that's not me. So be honest with yourself. Some things might not be you, but some things might be. So what do you dislike about your primary type? Moving into the third section, I have 2 prompts for you. Again, I want to talk about those other numbers that you wrote down. So look at your wing numbers, and I want you to answer, what do you identify with in your winged numbers or your subtypes? Because what these numbers mean and why they showed up for you is it means that you're pulling some of these personality traits into that beautiful mix with your main type. Next, look at your least type. So this is the one that you relate to the least. And for me, it's a 6, which is what my brother is. And I adore my brother. So it's so funny that we're really different, even though we're actually Irish twins. So we're really close. My question is, what can you learn from your least type? So even though it's this personality that trait that maybe you distance yourself from or you don't relate with, what can you learn from these people? Because like my brother is a 6, and when I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not me. But I know that there's so many beautiful qualities in that 6. And I think it's really important to take the time to look at that. Now I want to move into our final section, which is sort of our action section. So what I want you to get out of this is, now that we've gone through this and learned more about ourselves, like, what are we going to do about it? So my first prompt in this one, there's 3 prompts. I have 3 little circles here. First one is, how can you let your main type shine? So if you're a 7, how can you let your 7 adventurous self shine? I think that the Enneagrams and any personality test really are a really good tool, not only because they tell us about ourselves, but they tell us about others, and they give us this new perspective on the fact that, like, oh, everybody's, not a 2. My husband's a 2. Everybody's not a 2. Everyone's not thinking about this. Like, wow, what does that look like? What does the world look like for them? So my second prompt is, how does this Enneagram knowledge give you a new perspective? And lastly, now that you know a little bit more about yourself, how can you take care of yourself better? Did you have fun talking about Enneagrams? I freaking love them. If you had a good time, press like and subscribe, and then come back for more self-discovery journaling sessions. Leave feedback in the comments if you have it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.